Hey, it's Alecia Stringer here, and part of the series and Share Your Heart. We're going to find out, do you really care? Do I really care? God really cares for us. And so we're going to look at some different verses in the Bible to show His example, as well as some ways to evaluate yourself to see if you are truly a caring person, or caring for God, caring for yourself, caring for others. So when we find out how God really shows how He cares for us, you can go to Isaiah 59. God cares to build ourselves up because He cares. It says in verse 21, "As for me, this is my covenant for them, says the Lord. My spirit who is on you will not depart from you. And my words I have put in your mouth and will always be on your lips, and the lips of your children, on the lips of your descendants, and from this time on forever, says the Lord." And Philippians shows this disciples of Christ also cared. And disciples are caring people. We are to be like them from their examples. Like God was Christlike to care. There may be obstacles, yet this is what God wants us for us to show how we care. And in 1 Thessalonians 1, there's several ways. Strangers is, people that we haven't met before. This is a care for the people and that are there. And they even cared for when they didn't have an abundance themselves. They first gave them to themselves to the Lord. There are more stories, examples, like the Pharisee and the tax collector. These are just, warnings of how people are cared, even those that knew the law and knew exactly what they needed to do. It also shows, in James that there was some caring can cause some wars. Partiality and prejudice and pride, personal gain. So it's something definitely to be aware of, and being able to understand how we can control that. The problem and solution can really be seen more clearly, like love your neighbor as yourself. And this was an issue at that time when, Jesus tells stories and they just keep going right past it, and they don't see how they care. And Jesus does some of the unthinkable, and then suddenly they care. Like something just wakes up in their awareness that people really care. So who is my neighbor? Did the Samaritan who had true compassion on him, who cared for him. And so we find that on who follow Jesus in certain times that He shares the stories as well. So what should our response be? Do we care enough to dare to step out and share the message of Christ to new strangers? What will I say to them? God says, I need to care. Do you dare enough to care, right? How do you dare to step out to show that you care for God? You first, you got to recognize your life is for God and confess that He is the Lord, and He cared for our life to remain faithful. And so to be raised in Christ, just being baptized, and confess that you're a sinner, and that Christ is the true Lord. So there are several verses that I liked that showed care, and one is 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. Just lays it all out. Just no matter what anxiety or struggles you have, God will take care of it. And so you learn how God cares and shows how we should care. And 2 Thessalonians 2:8. So He cared for you because He loved you so much that we were delighted to share with you not only the gospel but God, but our lives as well. And this topic is very familiar, and I just read about this. There's a whole big chapter on caring inside of the book The Charge by Brandon Bouchard. And he gave me some really great highlights to how you can evaluate how caring you are. So I want to share a few of his ideas, and I highly recommend you get the book so you can put the whole, all the pieces together, because it's just a snippet to give you an example of the stuff that's written in the book. So you kind of evaluate yourself and ask questions like, do you know who really cares about you? And who do you care about? And then we find that, caring shows our emotions with it. The less emotions we feel, the less care we give to ourselves, and others. The emotion is that spark that compels us to care in the first place. So to be more worthy of caring, we must first simply accept it. It's like that awareness that you are really want to see caring all around you, and you want to return the blessing. And putting the strategy of caring on your life can change the entire game for you. So first of all, I want you to care for yourself, and here are some ideas. Like these are simple, and you can easily put them in your life. Like 1, schedule a minimum of 7 hours of sleep every night, right? That's caring for yourself, your body. Number 2, even smaller portions, maybe more produce, healthy food, right? Number 3, exercise at least 3 times per week. Simple, right? Thank you. 4, meditate. 5, drink more water, at least like 6 liters or whatever. And 6, give yourself a break. So there's tons of things that you can do. I'm sure these are just minimum or just regular routine for you, or maybe it's something you might need to consider, right? Be more vulnerable and allow others to care for you. Have to be a receiver. You are a child of God, and that alone makes you worthy of care and love. And it requires bravery to do this next exercise. This was an enlightening exercise for me, and enables me to look in different areas of my life: emotional, mental, social, professional, financial, and spiritual realities of ways you can show more caring. What challenges and problems are you having in each of these areas of your life? And will you go at it alone in solving these problems and fulfilling these dreams, or will you ask for help and look for resources? So this is a continuously thing for me, and I think you always need to evaluate that on a regular basis to see and gauge where you're at. So do take this activity and do that. I was writing down when I read it, and it made me look at things in a different way. And so share your results with others. I'll share those with my personal friends, those I want to know. Say, hey, I want to know your areas, and I'll share those with you if you want. And then if you want to have others help you, support you, mentor you, encourage you, care for you, those are the ones that you share them with, right? More ways to show you care. These is very enlightening. I think even some of the closest people I know, I have a hard time doing this for, but it allows you to kind of think of yourself and how you would answer these as well, and how you interact with other people. So for this person, here are ways for you to be curious and be more caring. These are just some ideas. Number 1, there's 7 of them. Top 3 ambitions in life are to what you really wanted to do in your life. Number 2, your favorite artist is. Number 3, the 3 closest friends are named. Do you know your 3 closest friends? Oh, it's crazy. Number 4, 3 best experiences in life. Maybe when you were younger. And then your best experience is always like change. What experience do you want to create too, right? Number 5, 3 worst experiences. I think I try to forget those. Number 6, what's your favorite meal? And number 7, would absolutely love to own something maybe you're reaching for financially or something. And so this is the biggest takeaway I took on practicing daily from what I learned from the charge. This old saying right here. There are 2 kinds of people in this world: those who walk in the room and say, "Here I am," and those who walk in the room and say, "Oh, there you are." Be curious and become curious about you. And so be conscious of asking, how did you feel when that happened? Always challenging my daughter, and she knows that sometimes it's so funny seeing her reaction on some things. Asking others, this question is a gift because it makes them pause, and it shows you care about their emotions. Also a gift to you because it will make interactions with others much, much deeper and more meaningful. If you want to feel alive, care. There are more ways and challenges to care even more. And he includes some action steps at the end of the chapter. Like, there's 3 of them here. Number 1 is 5 ways I want to start taking better care of myself include. Ooh, I was really challenged with that one. Number 2, if I were willing to be more vulnerable in life, I'd probably start asking more help in the areas of. It really challenges to reach out and think of other people's talents and resources. Number 3 ways I'll start demonstrating more care for the people in my life are to. These are your actions, right? And so answering these questions may put you more in that action mode to show you're caring for others and how you truly care. So evaluate and show you are caring to make it matter where it changes your life. And most of these ideas, especially from the Bible, were from a preacher that came and visited from, I think, Switzerland or somewhere over there. I couldn't remember the country. I think that's it. And I think from the local congregation here in Austin, Red Church of Christ. And then, of course, a lot of these ideas from the book, The Charge. So I highly recommend you get that book, and I will try to find you the recording from his amazing accents from sharing some of the ideas for that I shared with you today. If you love some of these ideas that I shared, please like and share it with those that matter most. Have a great day. Bye, guys.